All right. Come on in. 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 Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Happy Sunday to everybody. This is Victory Sunday. This is Happy Sunday. Jaywalk, he is here with me. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. We're trying to get him in here. We're gonna try it a couple different ways. Sometimes StreamYard acts up, sometimes it doesn't. But he's coming. But look, happy Sunday to everybody, man. We got some things we got to talk about. Some things we got to address. You guys see the title. Is Jayden Maiava still QB1? Of course, we got Eric Gentry's return, as well as there he is. All right, we cool now. Man, what's up with this little picture thing, man? This is crazy. All right, but we here, man. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. This thing is tripping. But Jay, what's the word?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's up, big bro? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. But for some reason,
all right, well,
I cannot position these cameras different, and it's messing me over.
Are you getting feedback again?
No feedback. But look, we'll roll with it. It's all good. I'm trying to figure out what. Yeah. Okay. This is crazy. I'm supposed to be able to. Anyway, man. Hey, sometimes you have these technical difficulties, man. We can see each other. We can hear each other. But look, happy Sunday to everybody. We already got 140 some people in here right now. We just getting this thing kicked off. But we got a couple of things we got to talk about, man. You guys see the title, Jayden Maiava, is he still QB1? Eric Gentry, he confirmed his return yesterday via Twitter and Instagram. And then, of course, the offensive line play. We had a couple of guys that, Mama K, you might as well hit that link. I'm going to send this to you. You can come on in. Your son balled out.
Hey, Mama K, good to see you.
Hey, listen, I'm going to send the link for everybody in the chat. If Mama K want to come on in while you got some time, you're more than welcome. We could talk about it. But before that, me and Jaywalk, we got to go over this game real quick. We got to talk about it. These things that we talked about. So look, man, Jaywalk, what's your initial thoughts of the game? And I'm gonna lay a foundation as far as QB1, man. We gonna talk about that.
Well, I'm grateful for victory. Let's start there. I'm grateful that it seemed like there wasn't too much collateral or residual damage, outside of Elijah. I think Elijah was our only primary injury, which that sucks because he was, he's a baller and we need him. So hopefully he'll be back strong. But it seemed like everyone, and then Marion Peterson did go down. So whenever we play those types of games where it's physical like that and it's at the tail end of the season, I just hate it when guys get nicked up and then they're done for spring and then fall camp and it just it affects how they can perform next season. So I'm just hoping that we get positive reports with regards to that. I'm very happy with how the offensive line played. I'll be really honest. I think that they performed well above expectations against that type of defensive line, as well as I thought that the game plan for those guys really set to their skill set. It made me feel like Jayden Maiava didn't trust the scheme as much as I thought he would, because he had way more time to navigate in the pocket more than what it looked like. Like he was a little jittery. He seemed like he had some happy feet. I just saw a little bit of undisciplined footwork for how much time he had. And that was a little surprising. It's alarming, but overall, when it mattered, he produced and he fought on like a Trojan. I mean, his composure to stay connected to the process was very admirable. I mean, you can imagine a sophomore, already throwing 3 interceptions, something like that. You're down 20-something points going into the third quarter. You're getting hit. You're getting blasted. You're not putting the ball where you can. And it just seems like this game is running away from you on national television. I could see a guy like that kind of like just tucking his head in. But Jayden stood strong. He did what he was supposed to do, and he fought on and he fought through and led us to a victory, man. So salute to him. He was the epitome of a Trojan last night.
No doubt. I'm gonna salute to him as well. Big salute to Jayden Maiava, and there's some things we got to talk about though as it relates to Jayden Maiava. And let me just lay the foundation real quick as far as Jayden Maiava and Miller Moss. Okay, you guys know, most of you guys know that one of the things that we talked about with Miller Moss, the picks with Michigan, the picks with Minnesota, the picks with Penn State. And so if I addressed it with Jayden Maiava, if I addressed it with Miller Moss, I feel like I kind of got to address it with Jayden Maiava. And the difference is, I think both of them are essentially one and the same. And what I mean by that is, Miller Moss, to me, this is how I see it. You can tell me if you see it differently, but the way I see it is, Miller Moss, to me, he started the game off pretty well, and he threw picks in between, but then he didn't finish well. Whereas Jayden Maiava started the game off not well, threw picks in between, but finished the game strong. I think they're one and the same from that aspect. You can tell me what you think. I think one starts off well, one finishes strong, and to me, the balancing act of it is, when you finish strong, most likely you're going to get the game win. And so I think that's where you kind of tip the hat toward Jayden Maiava. So you can tell me your thoughts as we lay the foundation from that aspect of it, and tell me what you think.
That's a really interesting perspective. One I hadn't even considered. And, I tend to lean towards your way and agree with that. I would much prefer someone that can finish strong than starts fast and then just fizzles out towards the end. Because finishing strong has a way of rallying the team. Finishing strong has a way of mobilizing, galvanizing the defense, incorporating the special teams, and it incites a lot of confidence in play calling as well. So I get that, because as you can see, as the game progressed and as our defense really stood up, man, against multiple turnovers, and they were put in horrible positions. They were put in horrible positions in this Las Vegas Bowl. That the defense had to save us. And man, Coach D. Lynn, boy, man, if you want to go out for a steak dinner, it's on me, bro. It's on me.
Hey, for real. I'll put something on that.
You did a great job, Coach. Just getting those guys going and confusing that very, very talented young quarterback who I think is going to be really special in the next 2 years. That kid's going to be really, really special. He's got a lot of intangibles and really protected the ball well in the times that he's had it so far. I think he threw for over 200 times and had maybe 0 turnovers, 0 interceptions, or 4. It was under 4, if I remember correctly. I don't want to be lying, but I believe I read something to the effect of it was less than 4 turnovers in 200 pass attempts, and that means you have great ball security. So for Coach D'Anton to get us to get at least 2 picks off of him in his skill set, I think that was very telling. It pumped a lot of life into our team overall. And then on that massive 4th down stop where we got him to miss the field goal off of that crazy interception that we threw, that was the game. That was the game to me.
Absolutely.
Us showing up and stopping them on 3 separate times, that was the game. And it wasn't like they punted much this game. They had over 400 yards offense, but we made the stops that mattered, and we got turnovers in very timely moments that gave us life. I know everybody felt sick, and then we get a pick. Dang, man, they about to go. Then we get some type of 3 and out, 4 and out. That was the game. That was the game.
Absolutely. So we laying the foundation. We discussing this matter, and I think we really got to kind of get to the root of it. And I want to know from you. And look, I see you guys stacking up in the queue there. We're gonna get to you. Me and Jay just wanted to put some analysis on this. Then we're gonna open it up for some calls. But Jay, as we move forward and just keeping it 100, when I looked at that first half, this is the way I saw the first half as it relates to Jayden Maiava. I felt like this is what came to my mind. Now I could be totally wrong. I felt like he's from Las Vegas. I felt like he might have hung with some of his friends or something. And he just might have, I don't know, because the way that first half looked, I just could not understand what I was watching. He didn't even look like the same quarterback to me from the Notre Dame game. And I was trying to figure out, what Jayden Maiava is this? But what that's not taken away from what he did in the second half, because he did some phenomenal things in the second half. Well, the fourth quarter. He was lighting Texas A&M up, placing the ball. The ball placement was incredible. So, what's your thoughts on that first half, man? And then moving forward, like, how does that translate to the quarterback? And then I want to get into the point of, did he secure QB1? But thoughts on the first half?
It was definitely a tale of 3 quarters. I can't even say 2 halves. 3 quarters, man. For 3 quarters, it was very difficult to watch. It was very difficult to watch. That fourth quarter, you start to see him stand up and look like a USC NFL caliber quarterback. And I don't know what it was, but he kind of sleepwalked for a few of those quarters, in my opinion, with some untimely throws, some very questionable footwork, ball placement. He wasn't getting his hips into it. He wasn't sitting down. I don't think he was sliding his feet and navigating the pocket as much as he had opportunities to. And the fact of the matter is I believe that we had no false starts. We had no holdings on offense, and the running attack was balanced. So he had every bit of what I thought was a very, like, one of the clearest, most concise opportunities to really, really show us what he's capable of. Because it wasn't like they had great and tumultuous pressure on him. I think some of the indecision and also not getting the ball out in timely positions and moving in the pocket is what created pressure. Like, our O-line did a well-done job.
Absolutely.
They really did a well-done job. But, like, O'Connor, he came in as center, right?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Bro, well done.
Absolutely.
And then I don't want to pronounce his name.
Get that man a scholarship, Justin Tuanoa.
Scally him. And I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I'm gonna call him Big T.
Justin Tuanoa, I think.
Yeah, Tuanoa. So look, Big T came in as a freshman and did his thing. He lined up next to Mango Pregnon, and they got after it.
And they got after it. And we saw Brian Jackson running right on that side. Wide open and just moving and grooving. So look, I think the future is bright, but the question is, can we get the fourth quarter Jayden Maiava? That's the $1 million question. Like, that's the quarterback we have to see all year long in order for him to secure that QB1. Otherwise, man, we'll all be having blood pressure machines right by us during every single game, bro. Like, bro, I couldn't understand what the heck was I watching. Like, Jayden, I was like, Jayden, why? Why? I just couldn't understand it. So like, literally, man, we have blood pressure machines by us. And we're gonna open up this thing in a second. But do you think, I want to hear from the fans, but I want to hear from you first. Do you think Jayden Maiava has done enough, if we're keeping it 100, to secure QB1?
It's kind of a loaded question. So, based on the quarterback talent that I know that we have on our depth chart right now, I have to say yes. Now, do I think he is the most ideal option as he's equipped at the moment? No. And that's no knock against him. I just think that we got to make sure that we're using the base fundamentals of playing the quarterback position. At least work your downfield progression beyond your first read. At least slide your foot mechanics and don't stand so straight leg. Use the hip dexterity that we've seen you display in many, many occasions. It's very tough to criticize this guy, knowing that, well, I think he had the most ability to prepare for this game than any game he's played this season for us. So he had a month to prepare, but then on the flip side of that, you're also in front of your family hometown, which could be some added pressure. I don't know what it is. I don't want to get into speculation. All I'm going off of, if I'm a scout and I'm researching him and I'm learning about his attributes, I'm going to say, good arm talent when he's fundamentally sound, good decision making when he's fundamentally sound. But as soon as you could tell, like, he starts to play a little bit of street ball in a way that's not clean. Like, it's okay to play street ball. It's okay. It is okay to play street ball. That's a part of people's talent. Like, Muhammad Ali had that aspect, AI, Jay Williams, those kind of guy. Sometimes Kobe, you see him start to play a little street ball out there. So I understand it. But when you're playing street ball, but it's outside of the framework of what your team is doing, then it's like nobody can trust you. I never seen so many times where our receivers were just like, "What was that? Like, who you doing? What was that?" It was like 7 to 10 times they were like, "What was that? What was that?" Like Lake McCree was open like 20 times last night, or not before last, whenever the game was. Okay, then there was times when Kyle Ford was literally just doing jumping jacks, waiting for the ball. So again, I can't say that I'm 1,000% confident with him as he is right now as QB1. And that's tough to say because I really like this guy. I really like him a lot, man.
Well, yeah, I'm the same way. And prior to this, after the Notre Dame game, I was all in. But I think that he had the opportunity to secure that position and really let Hassan Longstreet kind of come along and just kind of, he take him along. But now I think he kind of left the door open a little bit to just being an open competition. And it is what it is now. There's several. Shout out to Brandon Jones. He hit me today. It was like, talking about some transfer portal quarterbacks. He hit me about a Tennessee quarterback, and I'm not. Look, and I told Brandon, I said, look, Nico is making $7 million or $8 million, whatever he is making. I said, I don't see him leaving LA leaving Tennessee to come here. He hasn't even hit the portal. The transfer portal window closed yesterday. So I think the likelihood of something like that happening, and I'm just answering Brandon. I hit him in the text and told him, but I said that's not a serious thing. But, yeah. So that's that. But anyway, let's move to some of these calls. We got multiple calls stacking up. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts real quick. I'm gonna hit the first one real quick. Young Tony, what's the word?
What's up, fam? How you doing? What's up, J-Walk?
What up, Tony? What's up, my boy?
I'm chilling, loved ones. Man, I couldn't agree more with what J-Walk was saying. The mechanics just was off. Honestly, throwing off his back foot. And I know a couple guys in the chat was talking about, the pressure. It was some free rushers. That's part of the game, but you got to slide the pocket. You got to move. And he was standing still like a statue, wasn't sliding his feet. Throwing off his back foot a lot, second guessing his read and his throws. He wasn't going through progressions. With that being said, he came back, won us, helped us win the game. Shout out to him for that. And I'm not just here to bash him or nothing. We just keeping it 100. We calling a spade a spade. We dealing with Miller Moss. It's constructive critique, constructive criticism,
Absolutely.
Do I feel like another a full off season, because he came the first day of spring, I think, right? The day before the spring game. Do I feel another off season?
He played in the spring. He played the spring game.
But he came the day before that, right?
No. He was there enough time to practice.
Oh, he was there. He was there enough time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my bad on that. But do I feel like with Lincoln Riley, could sharpen him up and get him right, for next season? Yes. Am I optimistic that could happen? Yes. But as of right now, am I comfortable with him being QB1 with the roster? Yes. But if somebody else come in, I feel like, it should be a battle. It should be a competition, respectfully.
That's what's up. What
I mean? That, as far as that, I'm impressed. I love the offensive line. No penalties. Nobody was talking about J-Walk. The first one I heard that brought that up. They didn't have no penalties, Jay. And they did their thing. I couldn't pronounce the brother's name either at tackle that came in, but I just call him Oos. We call that's Oos. J-Walk know what I'm talking about. That's Oos.
Yeah,
that's Oos. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, he did his
with the running backs.
Real proud of him.
AP, I was impressed with him. Brian Jackson, of course. The defense, man, shout out to the defense. I love to see our seniors go out that chose to play with a bang. So happy for Ford, Cal Ford. So happy for him to get that tug at the end to win it for us. And that was a blessing. He deserved it, But I don't feel like he's QB1. If we have some more competition in there right now, it needs to be a competition, respectfully. Like, I'm not here to bash him or nothing. Just constructive criticism.
And before you go, and I got this thing is stacking up on me. Before you go, I think the likelihood of it being somebody of a higher caliber, I think all those quarterbacks are essentially gone right now. I think that you go get somebody that, of course, to have depth, but do you overpay for a guy when we still trying to talk about addressing the trenches? Absolutely not. The trenches still have to be one of the high priorities. Can we win with him? I think we can, but that first half you have to know yourself, Jayden Maiava. If you ever happen to watch this, you can't throw those things like that, bro. You can't do them. You can't throw it like that. I mean, it was just almost you were just lobbing it up there. We playing throw tackle in the street. You just lobbing it up.
That's we call that spray and play.
Yeah.
Play. You spray the ball up there and pray that one of your guys come down.
What we used to call it.
I'm just gonna throw it up and close my eyes and see who got it. You know what I mean? But but what he did in that fourth quarter,
man,
I don't think it's another quarterback in the country that can look like that. But we just need that the whole game, though. You gotta have that the whole game. You got it in you, so can you be consistent like that? Whether you need to get in there and warm up a long time, an hour or whatever, you need to get in there and get it happening, man. So young Tony,
I'm gonna lean towards this. I know you want to bring this caller in, but you know what? As you're speaking, I was getting like a little bit of an epiphany,
a revelation.
I really have been getting a revelation as you gentlemen been speaking, and I'm like, oh, I see now. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. It clicked in. He recognized his opportunity. He recognized what is to come. And yes, he hasn't been getting the lion's share of the reps this whole season. He hasn't been getting the lion's share of the adjustments. He hasn't been getting the lion's share of the attention. Not only that, but just even the trust with the players. So now going into this, when you recognize you're the guy, you take on a different mantle. You really do. So now Benny Wiley knows exactly more of what he needs to do with him. He's seen him play. Okay, this is where we're inefficient. This is where we need to improve. Hip mobility, lateral quickness, transitional energy with your footwork, not pushing off your back foot the way you are, and then just not following through with your arm swing. Slightly adjusting your arm angles on these pass rushes where these defensive linemen, they run at you and they stop and get their hands up. That takes a little bit of mechanics adjustments that require certain strength and conditioning components. Now I'm seeing it. All right, so I'm going to optimistically retract what I just said and go, yeah, he's the guy.
And respectfully, just to double down on what Jaywalk, that's what I meant by going through a whole off season, as QB1, as the guy, as the guy. It's a difference, and that's why I'm optimistic that along with Ben Wiley, like we could get him right. Coach Lincoln could get him right. I'm sharpening his skills. We know what he needs to work on. We got actual film in the USC jersey in our offense on him. We see the mechanics he needs to work on. And that's why I was like, he had me lost in the sauce that first half, but I'm thinking, okay, we trust Lincoln Riley with quarterbacks, right? I think we could all agree to that.
And that's where we got to stand on that, because I don't think look, one thing we can't question Lincoln Riley about is quarterback.
Ever. Right. And Jayden didn't have his number one receiver.
Yeah.
Well,
who happens to be his running back. He didn't have that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take this other call, young Tony, but
okay, much love. Let me just say this one more thing. Hey, everybody, it don't cost nothing. Hit that like button. Okay?
Absolutely.
Everybody just hit the like button. It's simple. Hit that like button for bro.
That's much love.
Say, man.
Appreciate you, fam.
Hey, happy New Year. Happy New Year. Right, be safe. Yeah.
Leon, what's the word?
LJ.
Hey, J Walk, USCJ, the future's so bright, you know what I mean?
Hey, I'm gonna start asking you to turn your camera off, man. You trying to outdo me with your glasses, man. What's up with that, man?
Hey, every time I come on the show, I'm gonna bring something new. I'm gonna show you what's going on.
Oh, you got that heat. You got that heat like that.
He got the glass game cracking. What's up,
man? I'm Paul Gaultier for all y'all newcomers.
Oh,
hey,
man.
That's that Gautier. That's that Gautier. How you say the Gautier? That's that Gautier. I like it, my man. I like it.
What's your observations, Big Leon?
Hey, listen, man. Being here on the East Coast of Florida, when we was down bad, I was like, damn, man, I stayed up to watch this tonight. but I'm glad I stayed on. And listen, I agree with what everybody just said just a second ago in terms of Jayden Maiava. I think that him having a full off season with Benny Wiley, a full off season with Lincoln Riley, understanding what Lincoln Riley wants, looking at film all spring, all summer, going into next year, it's only going to benefit him. I'm actually sitting here rewatching the game now, and I'm wondering if even the pace of play benefits him if we speed up the offense a little bit versus we were kind of slowing it down in the first half, you know. And USCA, something we had talked about before the game, the running game. When the running game is going, Jay was looking really good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think Jay Maiava is QB1, man. The another thing, the offensive line looked great. Justin Tuano, Killian O'Connor, having Pregnon in there and and Alani Noah. If you notice something about the broadcast, they never once said anything negative about the O-line.
Not once.
That hasn't happened all year.
Not once.
Hey, I want to stay right there for a second because I started thinking about this. Elijah Page went out, and what Justin came in and did as a true freshman, I'm wondering, do they shuffle this offensive line around to keep those guys in, to keep Elijah in, to keep Justin in? Like, how is that going to work when Elijah comes back? Because you don't just keep a guy like Justin out, man. He's out of Huntington Beach. He's 6'6", huge body, 300 pounds as a true freshman. He's only going to get better and bigger.
Such good hands. His hands were so good in this game.
So what do you guys think?
Couple of plays that I was able to see him where the television clearly showed his technique and how he was taking on all of their stunts, passing things off to Emmanuel Pregnon, using his hands, punching. His back foot was so sound. I was like, who, where he been? Who is he? Where has he been?
Double teaming, going up to the linebacker. I mean, the boy looked good.
He looked good, and he seemed like he took it personal for B Jack.
All those freshmen,
He seemed like he was like, B Jack is my guy. I'm gonna make sure nobody touch him, and it looked personal. And I said, I like that. I like his temperament.
So what do you guys think? I mean, because Elijah Page, that's essentially his spot next to him, Pregnon. So Justin, where do you think he fits in at? Because look, it's no way you can play like that in a bowl game against an SEC school and you're not getting no quality time and you don't get a spot. Like, where is he gonna fit in at? I mean, that is.
I'm gonna leave that up to Coach Hansen because I'm gonna call him Coach Hands Full from now on. He got his hands full with that because he knows he got the mantle. He knows that the spotlight is on him to do something extraordinary with this O-line, and I believe that Coach Nua and Dog Work, they're gonna come in here and give these guys a great opportunity to improve. I believe our defensive linemen are just going to become more and more of a prevalent dominant force, which will only just by the nature of the hunt improve our offensive line to develop the temperament that we're looking for, which again, that matriculates down to the running backs and the quarterback, which now I had to take a moment to realize that this wasn't Jayden Maiava's team. He inherited it. Now it is his team. And I believe that's a certain type of ownership that he can take. And there was something about how he looked in that last drive, the last two drives, the confidence and the composure when he was walking off the sideline. That's the look that I said, he finally settled in and realized what it was he was doing. He tapped in. He tapped in. It took a while, and that's okay. But I think going in now with that pressure, I think he's the type of athlete that pressure creates diamonds.
And, there were a lot of people saying that he couldn't, to your point, there were a lot of people saying that he couldn't throw it the middle. He was slicing them up the middle with those slants with Jacoby Lane as well as Makai Lemon. And those guys were dipping to the outside, getting all types of yardage, man. So yeah, I agree. I'm looking at these other calls. Leon, I got to take some other calls, man. Any last thing you want to say?
Just one more thing. I know a lot of people were complaining about the fact that a lot of the young guys didn't play. And if you just think about it for a second, I think Lincoln Riley saw the need to win this game. over the pressure of playing the young guys because you knew what the talk then if we would have lost.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
lost, we played all the young boys versus winning, you know what I'm saying? And having that positive vibe going into the offseason. So, you know, as much as we want to see the young defensive backs, Marcellus Williams and Gallegos and Xavier Jordan on the offensive side, you know what I mean? Like, you know, win the game, you know what I'm saying? And
Win.
we'll got some chances next year. So
Win. They'll all feel happier if they win. That's the truth.
That's a great point.
And I got to shout out them because LJ, you're a glasses guy. I mean, I'm gonna go off topic right now. So look, if you ain't heard about these, my bro Phil Parker put me on. These are the Ray-Ban Metas, right?
What?
Right
Ray-Ban?
here.
Are those Ray-Bans?
Now I'm recording our conversation right now.
Oh, Phil told me about them.
And now I'm gonna take a picture. Bye.
Jaywalk.
Wow.
Those Ray-Ban commercial on YouTube. I'm like, yo, I think I want to try them, man.
They are so fuego. I mean, I'm a realtor.
They look good though.
No, these when you walk out into the sun, they turn into shades. When you walk indoors, they turn into glasses, like clear. You can put your prescription. You can put your prescription. This is an unpaid advertisement.
They transitional then.
They're transitional lenses, yeah. But it was Philip when I was on his boat. He showed me the functionality of them. So you know, Santa wifey hooked it up this Christmas.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. That's
man. You need to send them an email, man. Tell them that you need a sponsorship or something, bro.
Hey, I might have to holler at him. It's fire. I'm telling you, man, it is so great for being in real estate. I can do home tours. So like what I see, I can send you a link, you can open it up and you can look on your phone to see what I'm seeing as a property tour. If you live out of
crazy. I gotta tell my brother to get those.
Tell your brother about that. Yeah, I wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, I didn't mean to go on a tangent. Yeah.
No, that's some good stuff. Well, Leon, look, it's good to hear from you, man. I'm gonna take some of these calls because it's stacking up on me, man.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy. Fight on.
All right, fight on. Alan.
I'm here.
What's up,
man?
what's
I like
Alan?
that big USC shirt. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm the old guy.
Hey, thank you for coming in.
So, a couple things. I'm not sure I'm totally sold because I was looking a year ago at your show on Miller Moss after Louisville. And he's just the guy. He's making all these throws. He's like the man. And I'm not saying he was a bad quarterback because, as we've all talked about, he didn't really fit in the offense. But we're saying kind of the same thing, you know, that, yeah, he's QB1, he's all this thing. And I agree. I don't think Maiava played good for maybe 2.5 quarters. Fourth quarter, he was phenomenal. Miller Moss would have never done what he did in that fourth quarter. But I just think that right now that where he's going to get SC is maybe in a higher bowl game than what they took him to, maybe even the quarters or semifinals of a championship playoff. He's not going to get him a natty. He's not there. He's not the guy.
Well, our defense is going to get us to a natty.
No, but I don't think I'm not even sure when I said semifinals, he's going to do that. I do think he's got a better chance of succeeding because you look at the schedule next year.
Absolutely.
You got Missouri State, you got Georgia Southern. He's got some time to put things together. And Lincoln Riley's got some time to see what he's got, if anything, behind him with Longstreet. But I don't know. I just remember all the hype. And I remember because I was there, I went to the Michigan game, ended up at the Maryland game and all these things. And we were all just like Miller Moss. And then it didn't happen. And we're talking about, let's go with Jayden Maiava. And I like him. I'm just not sold yet. I don't want to say he's QB1. I say if they can get somebody, that's great. If there's competition there, that's great. And if he comes out ahead, that's great too. But I've done this before. It's like Lucy in the football, the peanuts.
Yeah.
You know, you put that football out there and they pull it up, and here I am on my back again. So I don't know. I don't
I,
mean to rain
I
on the parade, but that's
no, you good. And if you came on the show a little early, one of the things I said was Miller Moss and Jayden Maiava are one and the same. And what I mean by that is Miller Moss start the game off good, threw interceptions in the middle of the game, and then finished the game. Whereas Jayden Maiava started off terrible, threw interceptions in the middle of the game, but finished strong. And I think that's where we lean a little bit toward Jayden Maiava as far as the finishing strong. He appears to have a killer instinct when you're talking about the finishing strong aspect as to how you finish the game. But I do agree with you. I don't feel like, and that's why we're having this conversation. That's why this title is there. Is Jayden Maiava still QB1? I don't feel like he had an opportunity to close the door and seal the deal. I don't feel like he closed the door and sealed the deal based on those first 3 quarters. However, I do see the potential there. I do see where if he plays the way he played in the 4th quarter, we got a championship level quarterback. But the question is, can he do that the whole game? The jury's still out. I can't give you a definitive yes on that. Jaywalk, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I do. I do think he can play 3/4 of a game on a consistent basis with that level of execution. I really do. As particularly as the play calling becomes more catered and geared towards his strengths and his aptitude within the offense. We don't know how many of those plays he really knew how to navigate for Lincoln Riley. We don't know. We don't know how many of those plays he knew how to navigate without Zach Branch, without Deuce, without Woody in the backfield. We don't know how much of the offense really had to get chopped down based on what he was comfortable with within his understanding of how to play within that offensive scheme with those offensive linemen. So many factors and variables that we're not all the way considering that I really have to right now. And I will even go as far as to say, with regards to Miller Moss, personally, everybody beats up Miller for some things that I think a lot of which were outside of his control. I will tell you this. The offensive linemen really left Miller Moss hanging majority of the season. All right. We cannot pretend that they were actually playing aggressive for him in many games. As a whole, some players absolutely were studs, some players. But overall, we looked soft. And Miller was the recipient of a lack of physicality and overall execution. The last 4 games of the season, I don't think we got one holding or one false start.
We did. Yeah, I remember you said that, and I was on a call a while back, and I went back and I looked, and you'd left. But yeah, we actually did have them going.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Got it.
But the other thing is, you said something too. This will be my last thing, but I'll throw this flamer on the table. I really don't think we missed Branch or Deuce. I think because when I saw, especially, and I love Deuce Robinson, but the times I saw him play, balls hit him in the hand. He did not make the catches these guys made in this game. He did not make them. And Branch, I don't know, maybe he's not used how he's supposed to be used. I don't know. But I'll tell you what I saw, from, I'll call him Lendale White Jr. That guy was dynamite when he was running. I don't find it terrible that we lost them in the portal. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I you know what, I stand behind that, and I don't. It's a loss when you lose talented players overall in general. It doesn't matter what position they play in. It's a loss to team morale, to team chemistry in a lot of areas, unless they are cancerous, and I don't believe any of those players were cancerous. But what I'm saying is, from a quarterback's perspective, when you become accustomed to weapons and how they move, and you have gotten reps with those players and they're no longer available, I don't care. I played quarterback in rec leagues. I played quarterback in passing leagues and fun times. When I didn't see certain players that I was accustomed to seeing, it did affect me. It affected where I felt like I could put the ball in. It affect play calls. It affect what the offensive scheme was. And so I'm not saying that was a factor. It is speculative. It truly is, because I'm not in the offense. I'm not in the locker room.
Mhm.
But what I could say for a guy like Jayden, who's had about 4 games with those jersey numbers, and he's accustomed to seeing them in specific places, and when they're not there anymore, you just don't know how long it takes them to settle in with the other jersey numbers that he's seeing instead, and feeling confident and feeling in rhythm with those other players. And so those are factors that we might have to say, okay, it took them 3 quarters to figure out the timing of how this person breaks, the timing of how that person breaks in game against this type of defense, against this coverage, not against our own guy, not against the DBs that you see every day, right?
It would have been
Absolutely.
interesting to have that offense on the field in the fourth quarter of the Notre Dame game.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about
Alan,
it.
That's a good point of view right there.
And Alan, one more thing too, that the same way running back has to get in rhythm, I think receivers have to get in rhythm as well. When you're talking about catching the ball, we saw receivers dropping balls all year, but we just saw a different type of being locked in and execution with our wide receivers.
Yep.
You just saw a level of confidence that was just different going up the middle. So I totally agree with you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Alan.
Hey, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year. Fight on.
Right. Hey, guys, I will be remiss not to talk about how excited I was to see Eric Gentry doing his thing. I was just, it was amazing. It was awesome. His energy, you felt his presence every time he was out there. He was always disruptive, always rallying, always mobilizing the guys. I love it. I think that dude is the defensive team captain, if not the team captain overall. He's amazing. Also,
I totally agree.
Kyle Ford.
Oh, Kyle Ford balled out. Kyle Ford absolutely balled out.
I had a personal conversation with Kyle Ford before he recommitted to SC in spring. And I looked at him and I got to talk to him. And he's just such a graceful guy. And he was torn between the decision. He was like, I don't know if I should come back. I want to come back. I never wanted to leave, but I don't know if I should come back. And I'm like, Kyle, you have to come back. This is your home. You cannot stay over there with those powder blue dudes. You cannot do it. You got to come back home. I guarantee you, when you put your heart into it and you walk with purpose, you will collide with your destiny as a Trojan. And I'm telling you, God allowed those words to become real and become living words, because that last slant that he ran, and not to mention all the other critical third down that he caught for us and got out of bounds to keep the ball with the clock, and doing what he needed to do. Let me just say that he just executed from start to finish. But that last route, I talk to DBs all the time about that particular route. I call that the Medusa route. It's when a receiver runs right up to you, stares you square in the face. I mean, splits you right down the center. Give me a. I don't know what just happened, but Lord, just my Bluetooth just popped on.
Don't. I can still hear you loud and clear.
Did you hear that?
No, I can hear you loud and clear. Let me welcome this guest. Uncle
Boom. My glasses turned on out of nowhere. This Bluetooth.
Oh, wow.
Some gospel music.
Hallelujah.
My apologies, guys. But
Uncle Boom.
Kyle Ford ran up to the guy, stared him square in the face, did like a little shuffle and stutter step, boom, and broke inside. That route couldn't have been done more perfect. His first touchdown catch and his first catch as a Trojan. His first catch as a Trojan was a touchdown. I don't know if people know this. And his last catch as a Trojan was a touchdown.
Yeah.
There's only a couple players in the history of the game that's ever been their story. Their first and last catch in college were touchdowns. Kyle Ford's going down in the record books for all time, and I'm so proud of him.
I never understood why he didn't get as much love even before he left, but that's a whole nother story. Uncle Boom, how you doing, man?
What's good, family? What's good?
What up, Uncle Boom?
Man,
good,
talk to us.
Hey, just speaking on Jayden, man. Hey, at the end of the day, you know what? The quarterback position is a position that you need reps at.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to let guys be able to develop. I understand we're in this time of the transfer portal, and everybody, we live in this microwave society. We want to win now, but we have to be able to let guys develop at the same time as well. and that Jayden can't be taken out of that discussion. He has to have time to develop at the quarterback position,
Absolutely.
especially with this Lincoln Riley offense. You know what I
Indeed.
mean? So I mean, we can't say we want development from a coach like Coach Henny to develop kids on the D line, and then we want to exclude Jayden from being developed at the quarterback
That's
position.
a great point. You hitting the nail on the head right now.
By Lincoln Riley, you know what I mean? Development has to go at every single position. Every single position has to be developed. Justin Talanu is the perfect definition of somebody that came in. It looks like he listened to the program. He stuck to it. He has strong mental. Capabilities about himself. And look what he did when he came in for Elijah Page. Was he perfect? No, but was he far better than what we thought he was going to be? Hell yeah. And that's
hey, I think he was a 3-star, man. Everybody, they make reference to the star system, but that dude right there, he had that it factor, man.
There's just some guys that get it, and I think he's one of those guys.
I think him and B. Jack are the testaments to what you're saying.
Both of them were so-called 3-stars.
Yeah.
And hey, look, there was a throw that Jayden Maiava made in the game. He's made a couple of these throws in the games that he's played, but at 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the third quarter,
my God,
when he throws this dart to Kyle Ford on the back shoulder from the opposite hash,
yes,
to the sideline on a rope,
yes,
there are not a lot of quarterbacks in college football, let alone the pro game, that can make that throw on a consistent basis, mind you. But when he made this throw to Kyle Ford, that's when everything started turning around. He started finding confidence in himself going throughout the rest of the game. He started to look more comfortable. I understand, from a fan's perspective, that we want him to look great the entire game. We want to see a full 4 quarters, but it's very rarely that we see a quarterback play a perfect 4 quarters in any game that you play. Correct. And look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I didn't lose faith in the game at all because I understand this is college football and things happen. College football, there's a lot of mistakes that get made to where teams get let back in the game. And once we scored that touchdown, going 24-14, I'm like, all right, we're back in this thing. You know what I mean? What happens? Defense makes a stop. Bam, we go back and score another touchdown. What happens? Defense comes in, makes a stop. Bam. It's 21-14 or 21-24?
Yep.
We're right there. And then bam, we take the lead, 28-24. Defense lets up a touchdown. So what? 153 left on the clock. Jayden Maiava takes them down like a soldier, making throws.
The way he was slicing them up, man, for real.
Makai Lemon running routes. What number 8? What's his name? Jacoby Lane. Can't guard Jack over there making catches, man. And then we got Kyle Ford running that inside slant routes in the game. I mean, damn.
Beautiful.
Dude made the
you talking about a back shoulder throw. I think he threw one to Jacoby Lane like that as well. Jacoby Lane hadn't even turned around. He threw the ball, and when Jacoby turned around, it was right there. You know what I'm talking about?
That was beautiful.
Yes. It was on the sideline. I said, my God, he threw the ball right when Jacoby turned around. The ball was there. I said that's an NFL throw.
That's slant fade. That slot fade that he threw to Makai Lemon and Makai. It was a back shoulder that Makai turned and framed it up at the top. That play on the sideline, that was a slot fade. People don't even talk about that. That throw is so hard.
That's a hard throw.
That's a hard throw.
Here's what I want people to understand. Texas A&M was like one game away from playing in the SEC championship. Yep. Whether people want to, they can say whatever they want to say. We had 19 guys out of this game. We didn't have one of our best defensive players, but for him to do that, to him to look like that in the fourth quarter, like I said, he looked like an NFL quarterback. Not too many people could look like that in the fourth quarter. We just need him to look like that pretty much the whole game, at least 3/4 of the game. Coming out the way he came out, that's what had a lot of people lost to the sauce.
That's it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
get it.
don't believe he's going to start that. I don't think we're going to get too many sluggish starts like that. I really
No,
don't.
because he didn't look like that for Notre Dame. That's why I couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
And you know, and again, and you know what? Like 3 to 4 weeks, it affects different players differently. And therefore, you know, it seems like he's a kid that as long as the momentum's going, all he's going to do is get better. And once that momentum stopped, you know, he kind of had to, get dust off the rust a little bit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Possibly.
Well, look, fam, I
Possibly.
gotta take some of these other
Hey,
calls real quick.
one
They
more,
stacked
one,
up. Oh yeah, one more
one
thing.
more thing,
You go ahead.
one more thing. So when it comes, do you guys think going forward, when it comes to the quarterback position, that I understand Lincoln Riley always zones in on his guy when it comes to quarterback, but do you think he should at least recruit 2 incoming freshmen going forward, get his high-rated dude, and then go in and get like a low 3-star or a high 2-star, something like that, just so you're able to have that depth built going throughout the year. So we're not as a team looking for somebody in the transfer portal, or if somebody goes down and gets hurt. You know what I mean? Looking for get that depth built in.
Jay, you want to?
I think he does do that. I think that is what he does. I mean, we got Jake Jensen as well.
Well, he's gone. He's gone to Montana State.
Oh, he transferred. When did he transfer?
Well, he played in the game, but he's in the he committed to Montana State. Montana.
Yeah, but I'm saying he had that with Jake Jensen.
Right. Well, we need to reestablish that.
So we do got to keep that trend going. Boom, we really do. And the challenge is to convince a 3-star guy that they should come and play behind a 4 or 5-star guy for however many years. That's the difficult thing. So personally, I would go and get a dynamic guy. I would always have a versatile running style quarterback to always throw in the mix, no matter what.
Yeah.
On deck, no matter what. And you come to the West Coast, you go to anywhere in the South, they got him. They're out.
Sure.
And that kid that played for Texas A&M, I would try to pick him up.
Hey, he looked legit. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, it was a couple times he ran that read option and ran it. I said, "Oh my God."
Hey, can you? I mean, we can't tamper, but that's the type of player we need.
Yeah, I get you. I get it. Hey, I get it, fellas. I get it. Hey, Jay Watt, I'm gonna hit you on some business stuff. I got your email.
Right on, bro. I appreciate that, man. It'd be great to hear from you.
Good one.
Hey, all right, Uncle Boom.
As always, with everyone, Happy New Year.
Christian.
What's going on, my brothers?
What up, Steve? What up?
Man, brother, I'm hearing a lot of things. I respectfully agree, but respectfully disagree with a lot of things, and people see different things. You know, that's why I respect though when they watch the game. You know, first off, Jayden Maiava played well more than the fourth quarter. We were down 24-7. We got the ball. He took us right down the score. That was in the third quarter. So he got hot mid third quarter with about 5 minutes left. We scored on 4 of the last 5 drives, and he led the push. So it was more than the fourth quarter. I do agree that, and this is what I've been saying when he first came in. I was saying he just came right before spring started. He hasn't even been here a whole year. Let the guy get in Riley's system, play and learn, and he's gonna be all right. So is he number one? I believe he's number one for the simple fact there was nobody outside of John Mateer that went in the portal this year that's better than him. The quarterback portal position was down this year, right? If Longstreet could come in and beat him, then play Longstreet. But that's not at quarterback, that's at every position. If somebody beats somebody out, play him. But the biggest difference I've seen in the game and why he started heating up in the third quarter is the first interception is like what you said, Jay Walk. We don't know the play call because the receiver put his hands up like what was that, and Jayden Maiava did the same thing. So they was off. Somebody was off, right? The third interception, he shouldn't have thrown that ball. It was only a 2-man route, max protect, wasn't nobody there. But also Makai got bumped off, and we don't know if he was supposed to be running the go route or what, or because he got bumped off and tripped by the DB that he switched the route. We don't know. But that ball should have been thrown away. Right. The other thing is the offensive line played good. They didn't play great. And the reason that they played great in the run game, but in pass blocking, they struggled earlier. I mean, Maiava was 14 for 6. No, he was 7 for 14, 6 for 14 in the first half, touchdown. That touchdown drive with a touchdown and one pick, right? So that's pedestrian. So he wasn't just playing.
Hey, Christian, let me ask you though. They look like they pass block pretty well. I mean, from what I saw, it looked like.
I'm about to explain what was early and what happened in the third quarter. If you look at the game again early, all year the pressure normally comes on the outside. Against Texas A&M, our center was getting pushed in the quarterback lap. This is why he was throwing the ball off his foot and all that, which he got to do better. You got to stand.
He wasn't
You
getting
got to.
back. He wasn't sliding at all. He was just stuck. I'm
Yep,
sorry.
that's what I'm saying.
Let me not
No, no, no,
interject.
no.
Let me listen. Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying, but the pressure was still coming. They were in his lap, and he wasn't moving and grooving. But if you look what happened in the third quarter when they did that, he dipped shoulder, dipped up, and hit Lane on the deep post route on that deep post route. But what happened is in the third half, in the third quarter, Riley started switching it up. We didn't see as many three wide receiver packages. He started bringing in the big bodies, max protection, leaving the running back and tight end in to help. If you look at that interception when we was on our goal line, I mean, as soon as he said height and went to throw the quick screen, the defense end was right there. That left tackle, he played well, but on that play, he was supposed to chip block to at least slow the defender up, you know what I'm saying, touch him or something. But everyone just missed him and he ran straight in. Now I'm not defending Maiava or saying that he played well in the first half and them decisions wasn't poor. But I'm saying I think he's the guy for the simple fact what I seen mid third quarter on
Yeah,
he
he
did he
looked
didn't
good.
flinch. He didn't flinch.
Absolutely.
Not only that is the touchdown to Lane was an adjustment that he made after reading the defense. So he
Absolutely.
can read
Yeah.
the
That's
defense.
right.
He changed the play.
Yep.
He changed the play up. So we didn't see that against Notre Dame and everybody else. So that's showing that he can be taught and there's some development going. And if he get it, the whole off season, I believe he can have a great year next year because he have all the other tools. You
I
know what I'm
believe
saying?
that.
Yeah.
And if Riley is who we think Riley is, you know what I'm saying? He will be able to coach him up because Maava's problem is not that he played bad the entire game. Maava's problem is he had one or two plays that make you say, "What are you doing?" And if he can cancel out
Yeah.
if he can cancel out those one or two plays, we're not even having this conversation because the rest of his plays, the kid be spectacular.
No, that's facts.
I love that
That,
perspective. I
that's
love that
fact. Yeah, that's some
perspective.
good stuff, Christian. For real. That's absolute fact. Jay Walk, you have anything you want to put on that?
No, I love that. In the middle of us discussing him, I definitely I felt my heart shift and my conviction shift because I had to go through the whole process of like how Jayden got to be where he is now, and I fundamentally agree with what Christian said, specifically because I know that when you're the guy and you're taking the lion's share of the attention and you're getting the reps with the guys that you're going to see most consistent. You're learning everything. You're learning how that center exchange feels. You're just in it. You know who's behind you in the backfield. You know how they pass block. You know how they chip when they're gonna get out on the screen. You understand how they like the ball. These things happen when you're getting those types of quality reps that he's going to get going into the next season. So I actually retract my statement. I firmly believe he is the guy. And I know it's because we are going to have the proper development to support his athletic attributes. And it seems to me like the offensive line is a lot more sound when he's navigating them. They're not as
Yeah.
flinchy. They're not as jumpy.
I noticed the same thing.
They
And I
just
think
have a
I
little
think
more
it's because
composure.
I think in what we're gonna have to realize with Maiava is that not saying he's not talented, but we have a less talented Caleb Williams in the fact that he's not looking to extend plays to run, which is why we say take off sometimes. He's looking to extend plays to throw the ball. And
Right.
and instead of just going to take the yards and keep the chain moving. We're saying we don't believe he's as athletic as we think. I believe he's athletic. He's not using it because for some reason the quarterback these days, I don't know why, because that's not the NFL no more. You don't have to prove you can sit there and throw from the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Them days is over. It's not gonna hurt your draft stock if somebody says he can't, you know what I'm saying? but most of the time he can run, but he's looking to extend the play. And by the time he's looking to extend the play to pass, that lane that was there for him to run has closed up.
Hmm.
And so if I'm Riley and we're watching film, I'm saying it's not there, take off, right? Take off. And as far as everyone said, like if you look at all his interceptions pretty much this year, they all have been on the deep ball, which seems like it's a miscommunication as far as what the receiver was expecting and what he was expecting the wide receiver to do. They weren't on the same page. You
Minus
know
the
what I'm
Notre
saying?
Dame, minus the Notre Dame game on those out routes, right?
Yeah.
Well, he only threw two on the Notre Dame. It was both was a deep ball in the end zone. One on the right side where the corner obviously held and we didn't get that, and he ran it back. Then the next one was that fourth down when we was down there and the pressure came in. He just threw it up in the end zone to get rid of it. It was against Nebraska. It was an out route he threw that our old cornerback took to the house.
Yes,
The
yeah,
two
right.
pick, the two pick sixes in Notre Dame, I think those are like deep, like curls or comebacks and outs, and he
No,
just
no, no. It was a go
I
route.
thought
It was a go route.
it was in
It was a
darn end zone.
yeah. The first one against Notre Dame was a go route on the right side into to number 10, and number 10 got held, but he
hell,
was throwing
yeah,
it. He was throwing the back shoulder. He threw the back shoulder, and the receiver kept going. And then the next one was that we was down on the goal line, well, about the 10, 15 against Notre Dame. It was fourth down, and he said hike and pressure immediately came in, and he was retreating, and he had got rid of it. But it was an out route against Nebraska, and Sierra Wright
got it.
took it back to the house. But it's not like he's throwing the interceptions across the middle on the comeback. Those he was hitting people on a dime, and
Mhm.
you see the run after catch, yeah, against Texas A&M, how he was giving them the ball in stride where they can make a move or in stride and,
Yo,
and get extra yardage. Like
yeah, I like
so,
that.
he
I like that.
yeah he was reading the defense within there. Is the issue, and I had brought that up because in the third quarter we started doing more max protect, leaving tight ends in, running backs in, you know. But what happened early with Maiava and why I think he was so off in the first half is that pressure up the middle. The center was getting pushed back into his lap a couple of times, and I just think he started rushing his own clock. So when there wasn't no pressure, the clock in his head because of what had been going on and how much he had been pressured, he started rushing. You know what I'm saying? When he didn't have to, because you hit a quarterback enough, you get enough pressure, their eyes don't get downfield no more. Start looking at the rush, and that's what I was saying the other day. That's how you know if a quarterback's gonna be good or great. Because even if the rush is coming, you getting beat up as a quarterback, you got to look past. You can't start looking at that rush, or it's gonna be in trouble. I mean,
Yeah,
I still would like to see us get a center and a tackle. I mean, in the first half, we did a couple rollouts. And as soon as he rolled out, the defense end was there, number 15 for Texas A&M. He was eating. You know what I'm saying? Texas A&M line they was fast. That's why we couldn't run them counter runs because they was running it down, so we just had to run straight. I'm like, Riley, just run it straight ahead. And B Jack just start killing them when we just forget the counter and just start going man on man and run it straight ahead. But yeah, I still would like to see us get an experienced center and tackle. I don't think the tackle from Washington State is gone yet, or the tackle from Illinois that can play tackle and guard on
Yeah,
the right
yeah,
side. I
yeah.
mean, both of them would be a huge pickup. You play the guy from Washington State at the tackle, and you let the guy from Illinois play guard because he played both, and he know Big Ten football as well, so he know what you can get away with.
that's true.
Got you, man. I appreciate you, man. I got to take some
All
of these
right,
other
my
calls
brother.
before we close it down. We've been at it for an hour. Hey, but I like that analysis you put on that. I appreciate that.
All right,
Yeah,
man. Y'all be
man.
blessed, man.
Hey,
All
be
right,
blessed,
family.
my
All right,
bro. Happy New Year.
Don.
This will probably be my last one. I
All right,
gotta, I
yeah,
gotta, yeah, feed the kids.
absolutely. Don, how you doing? We've been on here an hour.
Oh shit,
What
I'm
up,
Crazy.
good.
Don?
I'm
What's the
good. I'm
word?
good. Can y'all hear me?
Loud
Yes,
and clear. How
sir.
you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Not to be too hard on Maiava because we don't know truly what was going on as far as route running and stuff like that. I want to approach it from a little different angle. Um, I think it's a guy that we just kind of got to watch and give him time to develop. I mean, Jayden Daniels is doing what he's doing in the league, but when he saw him as a freshman at ASU, he didn't look necessarily like that.
Correct.
Um, but one thing that I will give him credit for is that first game against LSU when we got the ball back. there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to drive down the field and score, right? I haven't seen that at all this season. And I think, those who are questioning us for going in the transfer portal and getting a quarterback, it's like, who do you get? Especially with the money, y'all touched on it earlier. Nico's not coming. He's
No,
an
he's
$8
not.
million dude.
No, exactly.
And I think the difference is that we saw that was glaring. If we had A&M's D line this year, regardless of quarterback play, we're in the playoffs.
Mhm.
So I think it's important for us to keep building on that. And then I just wanted to get a player comparison for y'all. Jay Walk, I'm curious about your thoughts on this. It's a certain guy who's being compared to Dwayne Jarrett,
Mhm.
but I see somebody else in him. And Texas Tech, Michael Crabtree, and Jacoby Lane. And I'm just curious on your thoughts on that one.
Got you.
I
Okay,
see
so
Dwayne Jarrett, but you go ahead. You go ahead, Jay Walk.
so the reason I say closer to Dwayne, and I love Crabtree's game, but the reason I say closer to Dwayne is because Dwayne was actually truly he could run every route in the route tree. He really could. He ran screens, he ran curls, comebacks, out, he ran digs, he ran overs, he ran drags, drive routes, he ran post corners, he ran fades, he was our red zone guy. And I could see him. I mean, Jacoby is running every route. He's running cross the field. He's running post. He's running corners. They're not feeding him every time. I think that you'll see his package expand over the next year. Like next season, you're going to see Jacoby have a very, very extensive package because he is catching the possession route that we need from like an interior type of receiver like Makai. So, and why I don't say Crabtree as much is because he's just not as glitchy as Crabtree. Like DJ, as much as we love him, I mean, Dwayne was like a 4'6", 4'7" guy at best. When he was rolling. And I think Jacoby's somewhere around the same thing. But the thing about him is that he just occupies so much space per stride that when DBs bump him, when they're in stride with them, there's natural separation. So I was watching when Jacoby was running and the DB would put hands on him just because of like Jacoby's gait and his stride length, the defensive back would kind of lose steps by being physical with him. That's how DJ was. DJ used to crush me like that because I used to think that I had to be so physical with him because he was so like big. He was so lanky but what I noticed every time I would touch him when he was running his route, that he would create more separation. T.O. was like that when I played him, and Larry Fitzgerald was like that when I played him. Like, those dudes are a little more muscular. But the thing about DJ and Jacoby is when you try to jam those guys, you actually help them. You're pushing them further away from you in how their body works, and they're a little bit slinky at the same time as they are big and wiry. So, and I would see Crabtree, as much as I like him, he was jammable, and you could run with him. Like you could run with him. Like he was fast, but you could still run with him, right? But I don't see guys like, put it this way: how is Jacoby Lane running across the middle of the field so free through a zone?
For real. Yeah.
Right, and
No, that's real tough.
Dwayne used to be able to do the same thing. So I like that comparison with Dwayne a lot, actually.
And one more thing to add, and J-Walk played with him, but I think his catch radius, the way he positioned his body, is exactly like Dwayne Jarrett to me, the way I see it as well. But I can't add too much on to that. But J-Walk, I know you got to get up out of here. I appreciate you tapping in. And hey, fight on, Don. I'm gonna get ready to take a couple more calls, and I'm out of here.
Guys, much love to y'all. I'm gonna do my little shameless plug. Hey, holler at me if you need some help, especially this upcoming new year, man. Interest rates are gonna drop a little bit for you if you in that market. So here we go. This is how you can reach my
J-Walk is the man. J-Walk is the man. Make sure you guys tap in with him, man. If you guys need a home, tap in with J-Walk all over Southern California, period.
Especially if you're selling or need one. I mean, at least let us answer the questions that you might have. If you want to trust the resource, at the very least, I'll be honored to answer any questions that you might have. You, as long as your loved ones or people within your circle, you need someone who you can actually depend on. Is not going to BS you, shoot it to you straight, but also come from a place of understanding and love. Just reach out with the Walker team, and we would love to help you. Big bro,
Absolutely.
I love you.
All
I'm
right.
gonna feed my kiddos right now.
Do your thing, man. I appreciate you. We'll tap in this week sometime.
For sure, big bro. Much love, man. I love you with my whole heart, man. I'll talk to you before New Year's. But yeah, happy New Year's, guys.
Likewise, pal. All right. Brian, what's the word?
What's going on with you, Jay?
Hey, man. Hey, my bad. Hey, these calls are stacking
I
up, man.
understand,
I just
bro.
had to take them in order. I only got two more. I'm taking you and this other one here. But man, what's the word? What's your thoughts on everything that you've heard?
Yeah, so we talked about it briefly after the game, and I was always an advocate for Maiava. He looked kind of shaky starting off, but he did the main thing was close on yesterday. When we needed the throws, he made them. I will say this: I think we need to bring in an insurance policy because the schedule is favorable on next season. But if something happens to him, or if he hits a terrible slump, we don't want to depend on a true freshman and Longstreet to come in and match the schedule. You got to remember, I think right now Riley is in a position to where if he doesn't, come up with some, favorable, games on next season, then it might be it for him. So I think we need to bring in an insurance policy through the portal. Another quick point I want to make is in a situation where we lost those receivers, and of course I said we had to take our emotions out of it and think from a GM perspective. Yesterday, you saw a perfect example of where less is better. Well, we had we didn't have as many receivers to keep happy on yesterday. Our main two targets were Lemon and Lane, and my man Kyle Ford came in and he closed us out. But we didn't have Maiava wasn't tasked with trying to keep four receivers happy, which is what I said going into this Big Ten conference, that Lincoln Riley is starting to shape his offense up like a Big Ten offense or a Big Ten team. He's gearing up for that. And you saw that with the power running, the balanced runner of Jackson Peterson. But, he was able to get the scheme up plays for his two-star receivers. So I think everybody worked out, from that perspective. And the last point I wanted to make was that we have to keep everything in perspective. We beat two SEC teams this year. People were saying at the beginning of the season that, or either last season, that Riley was ducking the SEC. He's proven to be able to beat, SEC teams, and he did it, twice this year. So that's the 3 points that I wanted to make.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. And to your point about the receivers, man, look, we've all stated that, look, these guys got to get reps, and the only way you get reps is being on the field, and you get a better rhythm when you're on the field. It's the same way as running back. It's the same way as quarterback. You can't just bring a guy in that's cold playing quarterback and think he's just going to be good. Right. All positions are created, the same, equal, man. And so, no, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. But that's all I had, to contribute today. I appreciate you having me up, bro, man. I appreciate your content, and hopefully, we could take this win, over Texas A&M team, attack the portal again come spring, get some more positions of need, which I think, we need to shore up the linebacker position. I do believe that we need a center, like Christian was saying earlier, and we need some more depth at safety. So outside of that, we'll see what happens.
No, I agree with you on those things too, man. And we're going to be covering the rest of the transfer portal. These guys that are playing in the bowl game, the playoff games, they have another couple weeks to be able to enter the portal if they want to. Good thing about us, the transfer portal closed yesterday, so we haven't heard any news as to any guy if they entered their name or not. So that's a good sign. It looks like
AJ, when you win, that'll fix that.
No, you ain't lying.
When you win it, that'll fix that.
So the core group is still there, man. And look, man, that's what we need. Look, it's a lot. This is going on the third year now that I've had to try to wait from this point on to next August. So, we're going to keep it busy, man. We're going to keep it moving and grooving. But look, man, we all got to kind of anticipate and wait. Now, we're going to keep you covered on this end, though.
Right, most definitely, man. Well, go ahead and take the rest of your calls, man. I appreciate you having me up.
All right, fam. I'll holler. All right, Stefan, man, you my last one, man. What's the word?
Hey, what's going on with your USCJ?
Hey, what's the word? My apologies, man. These calls were stacking up. I had to get them in order.
You good. No, I understand. I feel like, man, me personally, I'm like Jaywalk, man. What he said about that quarterback from Texas A&M, he looked nice. I know we can't do no tampering and nothing like that, but man, if he entered the transfer portal, I'll give him a bag because he looked nice. And I like Jayden Maiava. I ain't got nothing against that dude. I don't know if I'm sold on him, man. I don't know, but hopefully, like y'all said, everybody keeps saying let him develop. But hopefully, he can develop and just he can read the defenses better because it seemed like he ain't reading the defense is good enough. It seemed like he looking for the home run ball all the time, like you know what I mean. And when he ain't got to force it, just take what the defense give you. And I also want to say, man, we look like we got another Lindell White, man. We got to feed that dude.
Hey, I think you've been following for a while now, man. I don't know if you remember when I did the video on Brian Jackson. Everybody was crying about him being a 3-star. And I said, look, this dude is the next Lindell White. A lot of people couldn't see it at the time, but I could see it when he was at McKinney, Texas. I saw him playing against. You remember that other running back that we were going after? Taylor Tatum. I watched a high school game. Taylor Tatum was playing against Brian Jackson. I took a clip from there, and I showed a clip of him cutting in that high school game. And I said, man, this dude is the truth. Now everybody's seeing it. Now everybody want to kind of do the comparison. But look, bro, you got to see it before you see it, homie. Hey, it is who it is. Yeah,
he's nice though. I hope Riley don't go. I mean, you need some depth at the position, but hopefully he don't go. I don't know how many. What are we at right now? We got 3 backs, or we just
no. So we only got Marion Peterson now because Quinn Joyner left, and of course Woody Marks is going. We only have 4 backs this year, and now that leaves us with 2 backs right now. But we got Riley Wormy that's coming in from Texas. Then we got not Dwayne Morris. Dwayne Morris decommitted, but we got Harry Dalton coming in from the DMV area. So that's gonna give us 4 backs. So
we should be all right though, man. I wonder how Jerome Miles feel though. How he? I wonder how you feel. What I mean?
Hey, Jerome Miles. I'm tripping. Hey, thank you, USC Priority. Eli Sanders from New Mexico. We did just sign him as well from the well, I did a video on him, but it didn't hit my mind until I just saw this. But that dude's a burner though. So that's gonna give us 5 backs. But he's gonna be an experienced back. Yeah, he's a baller though. He's definitely a baller.
Okay.
Yeah,
man. Most definitely. I just want to tap in with you, USC. I know, but I really feel like, man, if we could develop him, man, because it's hard to say, man. Like, because I feel like he could take us to the playoffs, but can he really get us over the hump? Can he take us all the way there? Hey, know what I mean? Like
I'm gonna say, like I was saying on this whole show, if we get that same Jayden Maiava that we saw in the 4th quarter, I don't think we're gonna find a better quarterback. Like the dude was really slicing and dicing, but we can't get the Jayden Maiava from the first half. That can't happen. But the potential is there. When you look at the transfer portal, I don't think realistically. Who's out there? Who can we possibly get that's going to be better right now than a guy like Jayden Maiava? He has to learn the offense just like him. So will he be behind? You know what I mean?
Number 10 from Texas A&M. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That dude look nice though. I just was like, damn.
But he young too though. He overthrew some guys too though.
No, like, he did.
It's a couple times that if he would have made some throws. It could have tore us up because he had a couple guys open. But he's right. So I think what makes him different is his run ability. He looks incredible from a running standpoint, but from an execution standpoint, from passing, I saw him miss a couple of throws that if he would have threw them, it could have probably got us. It could have got us.
Lincoln, no, he on his last leg, though. He got to produce something. You got to at least get us to the playoffs, man. It shouldn't be no reason why. It's a 12-team playoff, and you're not getting us there. It's playoffs and nothing, bro.
No, we could be right now. We could be SMU. I mean, well, we could beat some of them teams that was in the playoffs. I don't care what nobody said. We went
I
overtime with
believe
Penn
that.
State. Yeah, we went overtime with Penn State. There's no reason we shouldn't be in the playoffs. Some of these games, of course, we had some turnovers, but some of these are, some coaching issues that we could have, some adjustments we could have made on Lincoln Riley's behalf. But wait, that's water under the bridge. I believe the future's bright, man. We're gonna look to the future. What
Most
I saw
definitely.
last night gives us some serious hope. We beat 2 SEC. We're 2-0 against the SEC. USC
Right.
owns the SEC right now. Now, how they like that?
Exactly.
So
Right.
it's all good.
Hey, I just want to say, man, at the end of the day, I appreciate it. Let me on and fight on, man. Fight on.
Hey, fight on, big dog. Fight on.
All right. Have a good one.
Safety. All right, family. Hey, look, I'm out of here, man. I appreciate everybody. Hour and 20 minutes. Appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. You guys know we want to talk about it. You guys know, hey, we're going to keep you updated as much as possible, man. Play-by-play action. Until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. I'm out of here. Fight on, fight on, fight on.